Hello and welcome to episode 30 of Living Well Today. I'm Angela, and today we are talking about being the example, being what you wish to see and experience in the world. So, particularly for leaders, anyone who is in a position that is serving the community, serving employees, clients, customers. Really, so what it means is for all of us. If you're a parent, we would love our children to be X, Y, or Z, but are we being that? We would love to see our employees be ... fill in the blank, whatever it is, but are we being that? We would love to see our neighbor be fill in the blank. Are we being that? We would love to see whatever it is that we would love to see in the world. Are we being that? And there's a really famous saying from, I believe it was Mahatma Gandhi, who said, be the love or be the peace or whatever it is that you wish to see in the world, be that yourself first. So that's what we're talking about today. Because very often we stand in a place of judgment about this or that. We want something to be a certain way. We want to see our community come together. We want to see it be more peaceful. We want to see our leaders in government be truthful. And it is in the smallest truths, the smallest moments of telling the truth and being honest. It's not in the big things. It's in the little things that actually exemplify how we lead our life, and making those active choices in those little moments that seemingly in most cases seem like nothing at all, and yet they're everything. And I've learned this, particularly when you come from a background or childhood of survival, of having to survive for whatever reason. You don't come to a place of thriving, and you come to, it's a different kind of resourcefulness. And sometimes that means not being truthful. And you learn that. You'll learn how to survive. And in those moments, you think that if you were truthful, if you were honest, it would somehow harm you, put you in harm's way, and you learn those behaviors and those patterns early on. And then as you learn adulting and you grow up, it's time to move out of that those survival tactics and move into thriving tactics, which are really quite different from surviving tactics. So as an becoming human being, are you coming to the realization and a new level of awareness that living well today, in all ways, living well in your mind, living well in your heart, living well in your finances, living well in your relationships, living well in having your business thrive or the work that you do thrive, any of those things really means coming to a truth and having that truthful conversation with yourself, and being willing to examine yourself, your actions, your words, your choices, your decisions, all of those things, the behaviors, examining those and saying, I am accountable. I am responsible for the experience I have in the world. And if this is the part of mirroring, if you are seeing out there, wherever it is, or in your partner, your friendships, your children, your coworkers, if you are seeing that I want them to be more loving towards me, I want the world to be more at peace, I want the world to be more cooperative, I want neighbors to come together and to love each other and to help each other, be more helpful. That is a mirror back to you for you to examine and say, whatever it is that you are wanting that appears to be outside of yourself is ultimately a call for you to go inward and be that yourself. So be that what you wish to see in the world. If you want more, if you want to see and experience more love, be more love. Be more loving in your words and your actions. If you are wanting to experience more peace, are you peaceful in your thoughts, in your actions, in your life, in the smallest of moments when no one is looking? If you want to experience more prosperity, are you planting seeds of prosperity? I called this morning, and I haven't done this. I mean, I do it at an arm's length through a charity I helped co-found called Music for the Mission, and we raise money for the homeless and the hungry, for those less fortunate. Many people think that the homeless and the hungry are the man on the street that you see with the sign, and that is that is certainly one dimension of it. But another dimension as well that we don't realize so often is that our neighbors, our friends and neighbors, there are many of them that don't have enough food to put on the table at night, and single moms and families of 5 and 6 children, particularly in today's world. I mean, all of the food pantries are depleted, all of them. So I had a conversation this morning with a food pantry. I want to do more direct giving. Yes, I've been involved with Music for the Mission, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I want to plant more seeds. It's called cultivating better karma, good karma. I want to plant more seeds. When I am feeling depleted, that is the time to give more. If you are feeling depleted in any area, that is the time to do or be or give more in that area. While it feels like the right thing to do is to clamp down and to close inward and to hang on to every last penny, it's actually the time to plant more seeds. And you'll come out of that downward slope faster. And the downward slope won't be quite so dramatic. You'll come out of it quicker and it'll be smaller. I'm in one of those right now. We are all, it's like, this is life. I did a virtual coaching for a team earlier today and for the Harmony Method. And what you realize is that harmony doesn't mean that you never have disharmony or discord. Life is a wave. It's an ebb and flow. Recognizing the ebb and flow and realizing you can control the depth and severity, for lack of a better word, of the ebb and flow is what harmony is. It's you taking the wheel of your own life and saying, if I plant seeds of prosperity, even though I may not, there are certain aspects I'm personally right now, right as we speak, in this kind of downward trench of less prosperity. And then I come into times of more prosperity, and I predominantly speak of money, but it also is health. Like, there are some health things that I've gone through, all of these amazing energetic downloads, if you will, between my trip to California and something that I did with a group of 7,000 people last night. And there are aspects right now I'm dealing with my, just these headaches and things like that I'm learning more balance of not to deplete myself. My sleep isn't great right now. There are aspects of my sleep so it's recognizing this. And what happens is when you can recognize that and become aware of it, that's a cycle, it also helps ease that, and the waves get smaller, if that makes sense. The troughs are not as dramatic, and you're in more of a position to foster hope and faith and trust that you'll move out of this and things will even out again and feel better, and that you're on your way there. So planting seeds is really important. It's everything. you know? So planting seeds of prosperity. Can you do that? Can you, if you want to see more prosperity in your community, can you plant more seeds of prosperity? Can you play a direct role in that? And the more you do that, the less it feels like your community isn't prosperous. It feels more and more like your community is prosperous. And in fact it is, because you are an active contributor in that. Does that make sense? So this week is not a long episode. I mean, gee, we've only been 10 minutes in it, but I've pretty well covered the aspect of it. Is that, can you look for areas in your life where you could be more, or opening up to more of what it is that you're wanting to see, feel, experience? Can you say a prayer? And when you say your prayer for whatever it is that you're wanting, needing, desiring, can you ensure that you're also asking for that for others? And I feel like I can do more and more of that too. I try to offer through these videos and etc. It's not enough. I need to do more. I definitely need to do more. And oftentimes people say, "Well, how do I have the time? I've got to." You will always have the time to do good. You always have the time. It's like going for a walk or starting any new, qigong or any new energy exercises or anything from a well-being standpoint. It feels a little difficult at first because it's just a new muscle. But as you stretch that muscle, as you breathe energy and focus and attention into that particular area, it becomes easier and easier. So I shared this last night with someone after the 7,000 person meditation. I sent it to two friends of mine that I met while I was in California, Jessica and Teresa. And I said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So whether it's love, whether it's giving, whether it's a new project you're starting, whether it's a food pantry, no matter what it is, it feels difficult at first because it's new. But I shouldn't say but so let it feel a little bit difficult at first. It's just part of the coming into harmony, coming into balance. Most oftentimes it's not like these big ahas, although we get those big ahas once in a while, sure. But most of life is in the small moments when no one is watching. And that makes up the quality of your life, the small moments, the small steps. I've spoken of this before, the Kensho and the Satori. Satori, and these are Japanese concepts, but Satori is the big aha, the big breakthrough moments. And, everyone has those, but they're fewer and far between. The little miracles, the little steps, the Kensho is the slow unfolding. And that's probably 80%, the Pareto principle, 80%. That's probably 80 to 90% of our life is in the slow unfolding, the slow, what otherwise would feel or seem like insignificant moments are the ones that predominantly make up the quality of our life and how we experience it. So I invite you to take a small step in whatever direction that it is that you're wanting to see out there and make it an inside project. Say, can I do that first for myself? Can I plant that seed or more seeds of X, Y, or Z? And often you will find it is through service to others, service to community, service to a colleague, giving without an expectation of return. But understanding it's okay to say, I am intentionally planting good seeds of karma, seeds of prosperity, like a farmer would. The more seeds I plant, eventually, in one way or the other, the more I get to harvest. That's how it works. That's the yin and yang. That's the giving and receiving. The more you give, the more you are open to receiving. It's a wonderful balance, and it's worth striving toward and realizing. And I wish that for you. That's what the Harmony Method is about. And that's the journey I'm on. I'm right here with you. So each of these shows each week is really about my own unfolding. Any teacher of any merit is really coming to it in full authenticity and saying, this is me, this is where I'm at. I'm learning. And as I am learning, part of my learning process is sharing and planting seeds forward for others to possibly experience that for themselves wherever they're at on their journey for living well today. So I invite you to visit my website, angelamoonin.com. I invite you to share in the comments or email me, bloom@angelamoonin.com. If you know of a company, their employees that might benefit, or their customers that they impact, and the teams that they're on, the projects that they're creating or contributing to, could benefit from the, and by the way, everybody can, but can experience benefit and through the experience of harmony and creating more harmony within themselves and as a team, for them to become more resilient, to show up fully with their creativity, their resourcefulness, their focus and energy. The Harmony Method for teams that I do can help them foster that. I encourage you to reach out. If you know someone who is in healthcare, and think about healthcare workers and how on an ongoing basis, they are often giving more than they are replenishing. You can't give and not replenish. So the Harmony Method helps you replenish. So if you are a healthcare worker, if you have impact with healthcare teams, then reach out to me. I would love to be a part of that replenishment, that replenishing, that re-innovating them. And the Harmony Method is a wonderful and fairly straightforward, simple process for them doing it, but it does take work. It does require them to show up and be open to receiving instruction and insight, and thinking, what if maybe there is a better way? Maybe there is a healthier way, a more harmonious way to realize joy and ease and experience what it is that I want to see out there in the world. Create it within me first. And the Harmony Method is exactly that. It's a straightforward process for doing that, but it, like any new thing, takes energy and some attention and guidance. And I am that guide, and I'm willing to be that guide for you for living well today. Much love to you, and we'll see you next week. This was a short one today. Love it. 20 minutes today. All right. Be well, friends.